We might start a little guessing game here. Do you know where we are? I am here today with Cindy Rogers, who is the current chair of the board of the Park Avenue Community Association. She's been a former president of the association and has been very much an active partner of all of the improvements along Park Avenue. Welcome, Cindy.
Thank you, Terry. Thank
We've
you for
done a few
having us.
segments together, but not in this spot.
No, we haven't.
And if people have been to the David F. Watkins Memorial Park, they still might not have ventured over to see this particular area.
That's true because you can't see it from the street.
No. So why don't you start off and tell us what is this area?
Well, this is what we call the amphitheater. David F. Watkins Memorial Park was designed by Taylor and Kempkus architects, Anthony Taylor and Chris, in their office. And what it is, this is going to be a state-of-the-art storm to recreation park. This amphitheater will serve as a community gathering center for events. Eventually, this back wall will have a stage area that will be handicap accessible with a ramp. But it will also serve as a flood mitigation system, so as a basin. So when all of the stormwater runoff comes through, as it's filtered through our rain gardens, it will catch here and it will help mitigate the flooding of Lower Park Avenue in downtown Hot Springs. So we're super excited.
It's not only interesting in the way it's designed, it's beautiful, but to be so functional as well.
Yes, it is.
That's what makes this park unique, and it stands out from all the other city parks.
It does, and it's also a link in all of the other Park Avenue revitalization efforts we've been doing for the last 5 or 6 years through the Community Development Block Grant Program and partnership with the city, who's been great. All the departments have been wonderful. And with the stormwater rain gardens that we have, it will filter that runoff, so when it does come into our creek that eventually empties into Lake Hamilton, the water will be cleaner. People can recreation on Lake Hamilton. They can fish without pollutants and poisons. So we're just super excited.
And that was the original concept. Do you want to talk a little bit about how this park was conceived?
Well, when we started our revitalization efforts, we met with our past city manager, David Watkins, and he, and through the leadership of a past stormwater director, Max Sestilli, took this abandoned Kloss Motel that was a blight stain on our neighborhood. They raised the property, they uncovered the tunnel and the stream here, or the Hot Springs Creek. And as that developed, we met with Anthony Taylor from Taylor and Kempkus Architects, who is an avid supporter of our neighborhood. He used to live in the neighborhood, helped us design our community garden. He did pro bono work, got his firm to design this stormwater park. It'll eventually have a splash pad. Civitan has raised over $10,000 for an ADA accessible playground that'll go right over there. Park Avenue with stormwater development and through the Community Development Block Grant has already raised over $200,000 for improvements. But we're waiting because we're getting ready to turn a large grant, the Outdoor Recreation Grant, in, and Michelle Sestilli's working on another National Urban Parks grant. And if we get those two grants, we'll be able to finish this whole park probably within a year and a half.
So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
We could be attracting a large amount of money in grant form that will greatly help the park's progress.
Absolutely. And what we're waiting for is to turn those applications in August. And then the money that we have raised through those Kickstart campaigns, Robert Taylor has raised over $16,000 through friends of David Watkins and family members, have a memorial bridge and a memorial placard to go up. I mean, it's just really exciting.
That was quite a Kickstarter campaign, wasn't it?
It was. It's very exciting.
There's so many things that are groundbreaking about this park. It's even unique in its shape in that you can access it from the front and the back.
Correct.
It's kind of long and skinny, isn't
Right.
it?
Well, and that kind of started our improvements up here on Park Avenue, where was the ADA accessibility. We had wheelchairs that were going down the middle of Park Avenue, and it was like, this can't happen. And so with the street improvements and Gary Carnahan helping us design our ADA accessible sidewalks and bump outs and rain gardens, this park is going to be an extension of that. That's why the Civitans have gotten on board. They help folks with developmental disabilities and support those programs like Special Olympics. So they've gotten very enthusiastic. Rita Cruz, who was a charter member of that, we met for lunch. They wanted a project and they just picked it up.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Well, thank you for your kind comments about working with city staff. We have to say that in turn, it's been so rewarding and inspiring to work with the Park Avenue residents who are so invested in making Park Avenue the best part of our city.
It is our neighborhood has a sense of community. We have many young families moving in, and we welcome that. We are a diverse neighborhood. We welcome diversity. All we ask is people take pride in their home ownership or in the properties that they rent, and make it the beautiful neighborhood, the beautiful historic neighborhood that it always has been, because it's a great place to live up here.
Well, I'm sure that it must be very rewarding for you to see the results now bearing fruit after years of hard work, working with community block development block grant improvements, for example, that gradually have made this area walkable and more accessible for all.
Yeah, and I have to thank Janice Jones, who's my silent partner
Mhm.
in writing those grants. She does so much and never gets a mention. So Janice, and
She's
and
of PACA as well.
she's been PACA backbone. And then we have a new wave. We have Angie Ezekiel coming in, Brianna Moore's coming in to do things with the arts in the park. I mean, it's just very, very exciting.
Another neat thing is that both the two generations, if you will, of leaders in the Park Avenue area, they are seeing the big picture here.
Yes, they
They're
are.
seeing the North Woods. They're seeing all kinds of progress or long-term planning that's going to benefit Park Avenue.
Absolutely, and it's becoming a biking destination. In fact, we're working on a slow roll on November 16th with Bill Solidaire and Andrea Poteet from the bike shop up here, and Sunny Kay from Low Key Arts as another fundraiser for the Historic Light Project that Hannah Mills is chairing.
Oh yes, historic lighting. That's a whole nother subject.
That's a whole
And-
nother
and
committee, and I'm not on
that's-
that one. That's Hannah and Angie and Jan and
That's a
Phil
big,
Griggs.
ambitious project, and it's
Kelly.
coming along, isn't it?
Yes, it is. They've got a really strong committee. They're very committed to that. Kelly Thomason keeps their book straight of all the fundraising they're doing. And then PAC is now a 501c3, so we're channeling that money through our 501c3.
Yes. Outdoor recreation, you wanted to mention that?
Yes, that's a big grant, and we are so excited to do that. Gene Wallace, our past Parks and Trail director, has funded previous parks with that. We're currently working with Anthony Whittington, our new young Parks and Trail director, Denny McFate from Stormwater, who has done nothing but support what we're doing down here and provided funds from his department to support what we're doing, and Kathy Ferguson in their office. And Monday will be our final day. We're waiting for a couple support letters, one from Congressman Westerman, and just getting our stuff together, getting ready to turn it
Amazing.
in.
You've mentioned a lot of names. A lot of people have had hands in this project, and countless others,
Oh.
of course, in the
I'm sure I'm
background.
forgetting some.
So this segment will air sometime in August. Everybody, of course, has in mind when. When will this park be completed? Do you have any idea about the final date?
I don't have we don't have a final date. If we're awarded when we're awarded the outdoor recreation grant, that we'll know in December. The urban parks grant that Michelle Sestili's working on, she should get notification in September if that's awarded. We did not ask for community development block grant money for this park this year because of those two larger grants. We'll stick to our slowing the traffic down here on Park Avenue and the ADA accessibility. I would say within a year and a half, pending all of that funding. If not, the 211,000 and some odd change we have already collected, we'll start working on, and I'm sure Denny will coordinate that with Anthony Taylor, and they will start working on this part of the park, and we'll complete. We have stone donated from Bennett to do the sign. Karen Garcia, Sunrise Rotary, did the bike racks. The Hot Springs Realtors, we did a grant with them for the bioswale. I mean, it's just all these pieces of the community members. I mean, it's amazing.
There
It's
are
amazing.
too many partnerships to
And,
mention.
and I know I'm forgetting somebody who's done a lot for us, and I apologize.
Well, and people watching this segment, some will be hearing about the project for the first time. If they want to get involved, Cindy, what would be the best way for them to plug in?
Angie Ezekiel keeps a very active Park Avenue community page on Facebook.
Now, she's the current president
She's
of
the
PACA.
current president of PACA. She's been our president for the last couple years. We're always looking for new leadership, so anybody who wants to join PACA, please do. But she keeps a very active Facebook page. That's a good way. You can always contact me or Janice Jones.
Okay, do you want to give a number perhaps that people
My
could call?
number is 501-760-8812.
Talk about accessibility. You just gave your phone
Accessibility.
number out. Great.
Again, Parks and Trails, contact Kathy Ferguson down there too. She's,
All
because
right.
everything's coordinating through that office now.
Okay, very good. Well, Cindy, thank you for giving us an overview and showing us a part of Watkins Park that people may have not seen.
Yeah.
You need to venture a little farther the next time you visit. Thank you so much for the update. We're excited about the progress, and so much more is yet to come. Next week, we'll bring you more city news.
Thank you.